Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing my VCT EMEA rebuilds. I'm going to go through every team, tell you every change that I would make for those teams. Um, I've done this for both Americas and Pacific, so go check out those videos. I made like a whole series on every Americas team, and then Pacific, I just realized that I probably don't have the time to do that for them, so I'm just going to be doing individual videos on both EMEA and Pacific. So this is that for EMEA. I feel like these rosters are not as good as what I did for Pacific or for Americas, just because my the knowledge that I already had of EMEA was so much lower than those other regions, and actually seeing what the teams did in real life kind of changed, like showed me that there's a lot more depth of talent that didn't make it to the Ascension tournament, which was mainly what I watched. Um, so yeah, overall, these rosters are okay. I'm not upset with them, but I feel like I definitely could have done better. Also, just to clarify, I know I said it a little bit before, but these are what I would do with these rosters, not what I predict will happen in real life. So if that's not already obvious, I just want to make that clear. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so I think I'll zoom in a little bit more for you guys. But these are the rosters that I made. So for Fnatic, we're keeping everything the same. That's not even remotely a question. For Liquid, I want to talk about this a little bit. So I'm making the same, or two of the same removals they made in real life. I'm getting rid of Redgar and Soulcast. They were very bad last year. I think Redgar had some moments where his IGLing was good, but overall was a really mid, not mid. He was a terrible individual player. Now, in real life, they're getting rid of Safe, which I'll probably make a video on every roster move eventually, but you can't do that. You cannot let him out of the building. He is so good. Um, but I'm keeping him here in this world. And to replace Soulcast, we're bringing in Zelsis, who I got rid of on Cloud9. Um, I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, there's not really that many flex players that are better than Zelsis um, in EMEA. So I'll decide to import him over. And then we're also going to get Cupert, who has been a player and a coach. And we're going to bring him in as the IGL and the Smokes player to get that kind of Cloud9 core, kind of piecing two teams together, kind of like they did a little bit last year with Gambit and the old Liquid team, and then also bringing in Safe. Um, this roster would get me really excited. I think this team could compete towards the top of EMEA. Maybe not with Fnatic. I think nobody can compete with Fnatic, but I think this team gives you the best shot at that. And then Foot, I kept the same because I'm not super familiar with Turkish talent. And CNED went to a different team, but I'm also fairly confident that this team can get better as long as Cracks can make some improvements on his agent pool. I think that team should be okay. With Navi, we're gonna bring an artist here from Energy, kind of bring that core back together of the FPX team. Which, I mean, Artist was bad last year. Straight up, I don't like. There's no other way to say it. He was not up to Energy standard, but neither was CNED for Navi. I think you gotta just bring Artist back and try to, um, like rebuild that team or that team that you once had, like the structure and the everything like that. Um, and the system. That's the word that I was thinking of. Like the system that you once had. Keep this team. Keep Doom Bros. I know they're kind of considering other options at coach. I personally don't get that. I thought they were well coached. It seemed. Um, and yeah, I think they're doing this in real life. I think they should be fine. But I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year in the regular season. Um, as for Vitality, we're going to keep Sender and Molesy, who I think were their two best players easily throughout the whole year. And then we're going to bring in Alive, Brody, and Mystic, who, I mean, Alive was so good in Ascension. He really impressed me. What team did he? He played for. I think it was Ascend. You can correct me on that if that's wrong. I'll actually double check it while I'm talking here. Brody, I'm almost 100% sure played for Ascend. Live. Yes, Ascend. And Brody was also on that team. He was IGLing. I thought he was a pretty good initiator player, and the calling was fairly good for that team, so I brought him in here. And then from Apex, we're bringing in Mystic, who I think is getting underrated in this whole signing process. He was amazing on Smokes last year. His utility could use a little bit of improvement, but he genuinely reminds me a lot of Mako when he's playing the Smokes. If he can kind of fix a lot of the issues he's had with like choking in big games kind of thing, I think he could be a like genuinely the best Smokes player in EMEA. I think he might already be that because EMEA has just no Smokes talent anywhere. Um, like legitimately, Boaster was the best tier one Smokes player in EMEA last year, and he is not a good individual player. So that's saying a lot. And then for Giants, um, I had to get rid of Rhyme here because he retired in real life. So I just kind of let that happen. We're gonna swap Hoodie over to Sentinel, I'm pretty sure he was playing for G2 and was very good on. And we're gonna be putting Nookie on more of a flex role where he was extremely good um, for G2. We're gonna keep the rest of the team the same, and then bring in Cole Dementa as our smokes player. And overall, I think he was okay last year calling, but I think Koi just kind of had to start over, which is why I got rid of him. And we'll kind of go into Koi here with Kiko and Magnum from Apex. Both very, very good players in their own right. Magnum a little less so. I'm not like sold on him yet, but Kiko is a amazing duelist player, great opper, all those things. Little bit worried about his raise. I'm not sure how much he played. Um, Kiko, can I type? Um, how much raise did he? I swear he just played like full time chat, which was not what you'd like to see. I mean, how much raise has he even played full time? Yeah, he's only played like 22 games of raise full time, so I'm not completely sold on him, but he should be a good piece for this team, and if they can develop him in that manner, he should be good. And I think even if he played raise and hasn't played in the past too much, I think he would be very, very good here, or on that agent, and be very good here. And then we're going to bring in Redgar from Liquid. Not too many IGL options. Thought he was probably the best one. I'm going to take him off of Smokes because that's where he did the most trolling. I think if they put him on Initiator, he should be fine. But I'm not sold. But we're gonna pair him with Shados, who's gonna be making a role swap back to like the flex like Sky stuff that he was playing for Gambit, which I mean that's when he was at his best. So hopefully they could get Trados form back from him. And then we're gonna bring in Link here. Former Liquid player, hasn't really had too many other opportunities on big teams. Um, but I thought he like back in the day, like Champs 2021, Reykjavik. I thought he was the best player on that team. Um, he was always just so impressive to me with his anchoring on both his Sentinel and his Smokes play, but we're going to throw him on Smokes here. And then BBL. We're going to bring in CNED here, who got cut from Navi, bring him back to a Turkish team, which is what he's doing in real life. Hopefully, they can use him correctly in this scenario. He was disappointing last year, but also like if you watch the games, like he's like you can still see that that is CNED. It's not like he's making terrible decisions or he's not good mechanically. Like he's still a great opper. He's just not been put in the same situations as he was before, nor has the same level to like go crazy on Jet because of the nerfs. So I do think he's still a great player and absolutely should get any opportunity given to him or every opportunity given to him. But he is starting to fade here, I think. In terms of like how the agents are changing, how the metas are developing, he's not fitting into that as much as he used to back in 2021. Then Kankang, why did I say Kankang? I knew I was gonna do that. Kakan. Kakan. Yes. Okay, I can read. Um he was a great Sentinel player. I think for Fire? No, no, no. It was for the Turkish team, Digital Athletics. When I was watching the game, he was really impressive to me. I don't think he was incredible, but I think he could be something similar to like what Sender is, what maybe Magnum could be. Um, maybe I mean not like stylistically, but like in terms of how you would rate them. Nevera, uh, I don't know. Like he's a good Sentinel player. He's not going to be taking over games, I don't think, but he was very impressive to me. Then Sushni is going to stay as the IGL. I thought he was fairly good, or at least good enough last year. And then, honestly, the most impressive player to me was Deepmans, who was Digital Athletics initiator player, I believe. Yes. I thought he was by far their best player, even though I was impressed with Kankan. Kakan. I keep saying Kankan, like Kankan, like the Chinese player. Um, but yeah, Deepmans was very impressive. He is 17 right now, but I did some research on him, which was basically scrolling down through his Twitter until I saw a birthday tweet, and he is 18 before the season starts, so he should be good to play here. Uh, and he's so good. He reminds me. I I need to remember who he reminds me of because it's gonna make me angry. But like maybe like a Cowanzine, like when he played at Lock-in kind of thing. Like not when he was playing bad at like Tokyo and stuff, but when he was actually playing well. Um, reminds me a lot of Cowanzine, and he's just incredible. I think he should get an opportunity on any franchise team, really. And then Brave is going to stay here as our smokes player. I thought he was pretty good. And overall, I this BBL roster would slap in my opinion. Yeah, I was really impressed with all these players. And then Heretics, probably an unpopular move here. I'm going to keep Kellogg's. You just need to rein him in somehow. You need to bring in like owner. That would genuinely be insane. Uh, if they brought an owner and like rein Kellogg's in, because he is genuinely one of the most like mechanically gifted players in the EMEA. Like I think you got Durka Alpha, Safe, Sugetsu, and maybe like Shao that are clearly better than him, and the rest of it is up for debate. Oh, did I say Scream? If I didn't say Scream, then he's also ahead of him. But other than that, like everybody else is around his level and worse. Um, and he can play Raze, he can play Jet. I think that's a very valuable asset. And yeah, you gotta rein him in, dude. That's all you gotta do. Maybe he needs to go to tier two and prove himself there. But like if they kept him and brought an owner, I would love that. As somebody who is much lower on owner as a coach than most people. Then we're gonna bring in Monster as our Sentinel player, long or not long time, but like Ascends Sentinel player who is very good, has really good mechanics. I think he's just a little bit further along in his development than Benji Fishy. That's why I'm bringing him in here to replace him. Um, and it looks like they're going to keep Benji in real life, which I'm not thrilled with as a Valorant person, but as a former Fortnite watcher, I do like that because it's cool. But as somebody who wants to see the teams make good roster moves, I'm not huge on that. And then Bone Cold as the IGL here. It's insane to me that Vitality cut him. I thought he was like, where do we rank him here? Probably top two in EMEA for IGLs last year, at least in tier one. I think Enzo might be a little bit ahead of him right now. Um, and I thought he fit really well in that team. So Just weird that they cut him, but we're gonna bring him in here and kind of do that. Also for Ascend, not for Ascend. Why did I say Ascend? For Vitality, I cut Bone Cold because they did it like right after or during LCQ or something like that, and I just didn't want to like go against that. I just took it like the rosters after champs, what was rumored. That's what I was starting with. And then Shadow, we're gonna bring in as the flex player here from Apex, I believe. Um, and yeah, he was really solid for them last year. I don't think he's a crazy player or anything, but he was good. I don't really have too much else to say about him. And then Avova, who I think is actually fairly underrated right now, and is a really good smokes player. And then Carmine Core. Now, this might be a kind of a hot take. Like, obviously, last year was a disaster for them in terms of how much they lost. But they also found another piece here in Shin, where if they're going to rebuild their team, they get Scream, they get Navera. They're starting with that. That's good. They found probably what roles these people should play in Scream playing Duelist and Navera playing Sentinel. I don't think anything else really works too well. Maybe Navera on like Initiator, but you're not going to do that. Um, and then you also found Shin, who's a really, really good flex player. And I think if you keep him on that role, he'll continue to grow and be very, very good at that. Um, but we're going to keep this team French speaking, which they're not going to do in real life. We're going to bring in Enzo, who was the IGL of Apex last year, initiator player, former Fnatic player, very, very good. I really like Enzo. I do have a little bit of concerns with him at a tier 1 level. Like if you're going to win EMEA or anything like that with him, I have my doubts. Um, but to come in and start to rebuild this team, I think he's the perfect fit. I don't think there's a hotter free agent in EMEA right now. Maybe other than CNET after he got cut from Navi. Um, but yeah, he is extremely good. And then we're going to import GMD, who is I mean, he played a lot of different shit for TSM. But I do think he's very good. He's French Canadian and can speak French and kind of help with the calling here while also providing a decent level of fragging in his smokes play. And with that, that's going to be all our rosters. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff helps me out a lot. I'm going to be starting to do a little bit more off-season recap content. I'm going to be streaming more on Twitch, so go check that out. I'll probably be streaming anything that I feel like, whether it be VOD reviews of off-season tournaments, whether it be me playing Valorant ranks, which will happen a lot less. Or maybe I'll even stream some other games. Like I play Fortnite from time to time. I'll play Minecraft, maybe. Um, Anything like that. But I will always be talking about Valorant on there. Anything with the off season. Um, and yeah, I'll probably come out with some like tier list videos, some ranking videos, any kind of stuff like that. So stay tuned for that on this channel. But overall, just go follow me on Twitter and Twitch if you want off season content from me. So that's gonna be the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.